on that, I can't help you. And I'm just repeating what I'm told. You need to open it, apparently. You want a knife?
You should play Face the Crowd.
I don't know. I could have said, you just
Turn around, Joel.
read out there. Here's a Swiss Army knife.
Careful.
You never leave home without it. The knife, I mean. Close it and then hand it. There, oh, never mind. Here, you want to say it?
A duck. Let's take care of it.
You all have to come take a look at this to see it in its glory. It says J.R. Ichabod Duck. Who made this?
Okay, so read the bottom.
I meant
PJP LOL Company, made in Meadow Vista.
So can you
I'm
guess?
not going to reveal who PJP is. You guys can look in the directory.
Thank you.
And Labor of Love. That's right. And Labor of Love.
Thank you.
This gentleman that put this together with Labor of Love sent some of the rastiest emails that you can imagine. Anyway. Now, Joel, you guys are hauling a horse cross country. Don't go sit down. This is going to be really quick and painless. Anyway, you're hauling a horse cross country, and so you're going to need a break. And so this is from the congregation to you and Angela. We know your first stop is in Elko, right? Now, just down the road from the RV park is a casino. And once you put the horse in the paddock and you're on your way, then your next stop is going to be West Wendover, and you don't want to miss West Wendover, because then what you won in Elko, you can take care of in West Wendover. Because once you get to East Wendover, you're in Utah, and they ain't gonna work anymore.
Thank you.
Anyway, and for those of you who were late or missed the queue or whatever, you can still make a donation and put it in an envelope with my name on it, and I'll probably get it back to him without any problem. Anyway, thank you. Have a wonderful trip. Have a wonderful journey of 4 years. Oh, one more thing. I did get a letter last week from the ELCA, and this will be announced later on, but now while everyone's here, Joel has won a full tuition scholarship at Trinity Seminary. For all the tuition required years, and I'm assuming that's at least 3, if not 4. And so that's wonderful. Congratulations, you've earned it. You deserve it. Okay.
I'm not comfortable being up here by myself, so I'd like Rihanna Brenson and Robin Rice to join me, please. If you're still here. Hang in there, Joel. We have a couple of small things for Joel that will be tools of his trade that are a gift from Faith Lutheran and Bethlehem. And with them comes an offer to store them here until you need them. So the first thing was a combination project. Most people in both congregations have only seen little bits of fabric for it. A year ago, when you were first going to leave us, we talked about creating a stole, which Joel will not be able to use until he's a pastor, a symbol of his servanthood. And so Robin, who's a fabric artist, began working on some fabric or thinking about that. Our problem was to have everyone's input without actually creating a garment that looked like kind of a mess on the front. And So we decided that the beautiful part, which Robin created, would be on the front, and so she created handcrafted fabric that's in an Advent blue. And I'm going to hold it up when I'm done talking because I can't do both at once. It's in an Advent blue, which is a nice thing. It's a seasonal color, time of new beginnings, and the print on it is a leaf pattern to remind you of the foothills. And on the back are the signatures and the blessings from many people from the congregation. And we want the side that has our names on it to be close to your heart. So this is what it turned up like. So if I don't drop it in the dirt. So this is one. So I've got a trash bag over to protect it. You can talk to Robin about how she created the fabric, but it was sure fun to work with. It's beautiful.
About how I ripped my hair out trying to.
Yeah, I bet. So on the front is the seasonal Advent design, and then on the back, if you guys remember the blessings and so forth, and those go to Angela as well because she'll be in service with you. At the very top, it says, "Wherever you travel in your faith journey, our hearts go with you." So there's that, and we'll hang it for you. The second thing, it's in a basket here, and yes, it's breakable, is something that Rhiannon created, and I hear you admired it, so if you want to hold it up. This also will be a tool for your trade, and I'll definitely store this in my studio for you, so you don't have to haul it around. When you're ready for it, we'll send it to you. Yep. So Rhiannon crafted this as part of an art series that went with a Cola Voce concert, but it has sgraffito designs, which are Bible stories on the inside, on the outside. So again, something to remember the artists and the people that love you in the foothills as you begin your service life. So. I'm going to have the stole, and I'll leave those up here on the table up here if you'd like to look at them. I'd like to try and keep the stole out of the dirt, so I'm not going to try and hang it anywhere. But if you want to take a look, it's up here with the chalice and the plate.
Well, thank you all for coming, first and foremost. I know I haven't gotten around to half of you yet tonight, so if you really want to come speak to me, make sure I get a chance to see you tonight. I'm going to try and make my way around to as many people as I can, but please, if you really need to leave, come up and approach me and feel free to butt in on any conversation that's going on. I want to be able to say hi and thank you to as many of you as I can directly. Let me see if I can do this. When I first was looking at applying for the job here in Meadow Vista all the way back in 2006, I had two friends, Mindy and Tyler Wagner, that when I told them that I had applied and that I was looking at the job, they had known a handful of the previous youth directors that worked here at the church, and they said, "Joel, don't ever leave Meadow Vista. You don't know what you have there." I'll let you know how this goes. But on a serious note, there's a couple words that I want to say. The first word, if we're going off of letters, starting the words, the first word is reconciliation. And I want to reconcile a couple things here first with you all tonight, publicly. We're a church that values more than anything grace and forgiveness and reconciliation between one another. And so there's a few people I want to direct some words to. First is my wife, Angela, for putting up with such a crazy job that makes me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or stress over little details or go off on crazy trips to Mexico and all of this time. I'm sorry for those times that I've left you. I'm sorry for the times that it's put strain on our relationship. And I thank you so much for being here with me through it. Second is for my parents. I am really sorry that I don't call enough. And I'll try, given that I'm moving even 2,000 more miles away from where I am now, I'll try and do a better job. Third is to all the students that are here. The last 2 years especially, things have been a lot different than they were the first 5 years I was here at the church. And I want to apologize to all of the students in particular that I hadn't been able to spend as much time with, that we weren't able to do the things that perhaps your older siblings or that other older kids were able to do. Please know that I love you all so much, and I thank you for the times that you have participated and the time that we've been able to spend together. I'm going to lump this last one just all together as a generalization. Whenever you're in a place of leadership, whenever you're in front of somebody, especially in times of turmoil and transition, there's decisions that have to get made. There's things that we decide to do that whether or not I know it, whether or not you know it, I know there's times that you might have disagreed with decisions that were made that I perhaps made, or things that we did that you might not want to see happen. And there's times that I know in the life of the church that people get hurt in those things. And so on behalf of myself as leadership, on behalf of myself as somebody that represents not just our church here in Meadow Vista, but the greater church, I want to say I'm sorry for those times that we haven't lived up to the love that we're supposed to extend to one another. And I want to encourage you all so much that in the midst of whatever it is that's here to come at Faith Lutheran, at Bethlehem Lutheran, in this greater community, that it's the spirit of reconciliation that we exemplify as a Christian community. And I encourage you all, whatever hardships that you are about to incur, hopefully not too many, that reconciliation is at the forefront. Finally, the last thing I want to say is that I've received quite a bit of acknowledgement, not just from this local community for the work that I've done, but I've received recently a lot of acknowledgement from the broader church community and from people from places that you don't even know, because of essays I've written and stories that I've told and experiences that I've had here. Everything that I've done here is not something that I just uniquely brought myself. I believe very strongly that it's not about being an individual and doing something uniquely yourself, but it's about being formed out of the love that you find in others and the good that you find in others. And so all of the acknowledgement that you have here tonight for the work that I've done, it's not about my work. It's about every single thing that I've been formed out of in this community. It's about the relationships that we've all been able to share. It's about Doug Zeich and Brian Whiteside and Carol Davies and every single one of the people that I've interacted with. And more than anybody, it's about all of the parents that I've had a chance to be able to witness. Because you are the ones that are doing the hard work. And I don't care whether it's a parent that's in their 80s or a parent that's in their 30s or 20s. Being a parent, from my experience watching as a youth minister, is a very difficult thing to do. And I thank you for the opportunity to be able to observe, to watch, and to see what it's like. It's something that I hope will reward my own personal family in the future and in the work that I will continue to do. Thank you so much for the opportunity to work with you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Your communities are amazing, and I only hope that God continues to bless you in the way that you all have been a blessing to me and to Angela. Thank you.